Alright, so I caught War's video yesterday, and I have to pretty much agree with him on this Kenny Veach solved, Kenny Veach not solved. Um, I just agree. Until there is a body, or he comes tooling into some place and somebody recognizes him and the cat comes out of the bag, it is a unsolved mystery, unsolved case, open case, whatever the case may be. Um, Something that has had me wondering. I read a comment and I don't think I took a screenshot, and I wish I would have because I don't know where the hell I seen it. One of Sharon Pilgrim's comments was she believed that the M Cave is within 4 miles of where Kenny's car was found. Alright, and when it comes to maps, it doesn't matter what map you use. If you prefer satellite, I don't like satellite because if I'm looking at this, I do not get the detail like you get from a topo map. If I want to zoom in here, and something that I wanted to look at was if I spin this like this and I go, okay, 4 miles, Wild Horse Pass to the parking area. Let's say that is our initial 4 mile search radius. If I'm looking at a topo map, or if I am looking at a satellite map, on the satellite, if I'm looking at this stuff looks like it is easily climbable, traversable, hikeable, whatever analogy you want to give it. But from here to the cell phone mine is supposed to be 4 miles. So if you look up, and Kenny claimed when he did his video he had camped up in here somewhere. I mean, he clearly states it. So if I want to get there, right here's the mine. If I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this elevation climb, right here's a 200-foot elevation gain, 4, 6. You look at these lines, the way they dip down, that is a hell of a incline. As opposed to when I'm looking at this, okay, I can easily go around this and just trot right up here. Do I have the picture? No. Do people that watch these videos, would they rather look at lines or would they rather look at pictures? When I do these videos, a lot of times these videos are thinking out loud, kind of looking for input. And so, it just is what it is. Now, I found this grid search filter on It's on Google Maps. I didn't even know it was there. I believe this is what Gene was talking about when he said when search and rescue comes in, they will use satellite maps. They will put a grid pattern over it, and then they break down each one of these little squares, and they will work that square out, go to the next one in front of them. Work that one out, go to the next one. I mean, now where this is appears to be a little more wide open, a person could just kind of wander through it, but you still want to cover, because if something's behind a tree and you would think, okay, I'm walking along this ridge and I'm watching these trees, but if you ever have really done any hikes where you're looking for something, then you really got to cover ground. But yeah, I was more or less just trying to show this grid pattern so I could talk about how search and rescue does that. And I wanted to go over why I prefer the topo map. I realize it's boring. I understand people don't get it. But if I'm thinking about something, and right now I'm kind of looking at 4 miles. Okay, so we know this mark right here. This is the draw that aqua chigger went up. Has anybody been up this one? This one? Come in through these? If you look at these rings, you very well could have more caves. Now, when I'm thinking of a cave, I already showed a picture of what I think of when I think of a cave. I think of something that goes in underground. Carlsbad Caverns, things like that. There's a cave up in Montana, I can't remember what the hell the name of it is. When I was a kid, I got to go into it. Those are caves. It's a big hollow point underneath the ground. So that's what I'm looking at. When I'm looking at this, is there a cave here? Hell, who knows? For all I know, that could be sandstone, granite. I don't know what kind of rock that is out there. I don't know if it's volcanic. Once I get out there, I'll have a better idea. But anyhow, this is my go-to preference when it comes to a map, simply because of I can really get a good idea of what it's like. And when I'm looking at, I look at this, that's telling me there's a pretty decent drop. Right here, that's telling me that's pretty much straight up and down. So it just kind of is what it is. If people prefer to look at maps and they prefer to do the Google Earth, hey, that's fine. I could care less. But I don't think you get the detail. Now, the one thing that I do like about putting this grid over the top, you look at these lines, that's a pretty damn good drop off. That's another good drop off. But I don't know that the grid overlay, I don't think it gives the same detail. And that's another thing. When you zoom in on it, it goes funky. So it hasn't, I don't know. Anyhow, what I'm kind of wondering, and what I think aside from everything, and that was another point I wanted to make, from here to right here, if a person figures out, okay, 4 miles, and this is just a rough estimate because I'm not drawing lines all over my map and having to go back in to delete all that crap later. But if you go 4 miles, 4 miles, you know, say this is 4 miles, because when you draw that direct line as a crow flies, that's not taken into account for all the up and down, or do you come in and do you work out each one of these little canyons? And what is to say that, you know, everybody assumes this uphill side, the eastern side of Joe May, but what about down in here? When Jeff Claw parked over here and came around and went up into here, that was brutal. And so that's another thing. And the reason I like Jeff Claw's videos and I like Scott Nuttall's videos, simply because you get a lot of footage and you get to see what that country is like. Now, granted, maps, video, they never fully give justice to what the hell you're getting into. I mean, they, as good as cameras are getting, it is really hard to really see how brutal a place is, because when you're walking with the camera, it always appears to be fairly flat, or yeah, it's a pretty good incline. You don't realize it until you're there and you're looking at it, and it's like, wow, what a beast. But I'm kind of wondering about if a person breaks this down into sections, take one day, cover this section, then come in, do this section. Now I'm also realizing too, just covering this section right here, hell, it might take you most of a day to get back up into here. And that's not counting off all the little side shoots. Because if you're gonna look, you literally need to go up each one of these side shoots. So anyhow, that was kind of what I was wanting to hit on. I just don't understand this Sheryon saying she thoroughly believes if there is a cave. She said she had never seen the cave, but if there is a cave, she believes it would be within this first 4 miles. Well, that 4 miles could turn into 20 or more miles in a hurry, because you never know which direction. And what's to say that the cave isn't back down here towards Spot Canyon, U Canyon? I mean, it could be anywhere. The thing that we do know for sure, the last place that anything at Kenny's was really found was at the mine. That was his phone and the change. So, anyhow, um, just something to think about. Is he alive? Is he dead? Well, until there's a body, we can all have our own theories. But until there's a body, there's still questions that have no answers. All right, later.